Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal braces for a busy week ahead as he is embarking on a tour of the US and China. The 10-day tour begins tomorrow and ends on 25th of September. On the eve of his tour today, Prime Minister Dahal also briefed the Parliament regarding his address to the UN General Assembly, from where he will fly directly to China to grace the opening ceremony of Hangzhou Asian Games. Good evening, I'm Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. Premier Dahal briefs the Parliament regarding his upcoming visit to US and China, the Prime Minister to highlight the achievement of Nepal at the UN General Assembly. 78 doctors and healthcare workers of Hetauda Hospital resign in a collective display of solidarity against the assault of 2 doctors, health services paralyzed in Makwanpur. Tourism operators encouraging people to travel to Marrakesh in a bid to support the region's tourism industry. Things returning to normalcy after a massive jolt rocked Morocco last Friday. And India taking on Bangladesh in the last Super 4 encounter at the Asia Cup. Bangladesh consolidate after the loss of early wickets. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is to inform the world audience regarding Nepal's political achievements at the UN General Assembly. Premier Dahal is embarking on a visit of the US and China beginning tomorrow. Prime Minister Dahal informed the Parliament today regarding his US visit to attend the UN General Assembly and the subsequent China visit, saying that he would highlight on the efforts made in concluding the peace process and for the global goals of sustainable development. Premier Dahal will address the UN General Assembly on the 21st of September and attend high-level meetings on the sideline of the event. Premier Dahal will also attend the 19th Asian Games to be held in Hangzhou during the China visit and pay courtesy call to Chinese President Xi Jinping. While in Beijing, Premier Dahal will also meet with his Chinese counterpart Li Qiang.
नेपालको प्रधानमन्त्रीको हैसियतमा मेरो यो तेस्रो चीन भ्रमण हुनेछ। यस भ्रमणले नेपाल चीन बीच विद्यमान द्विपक्षीय सम्बन्ध थप प्रगाढ हुनेछ भन्ने मैले विश्वास लिएको छु। यस भ्रमणलाई नेपाल र नेपाली जनताको हित एवं नेपाल चीन सम्बन्धलाई मजबुत तुल्याउन सदुपयोग गर्ने मेरो प्रयास रहने कुरा म यस सम्मानित सदनलाई अवगत गराउन चाहन्छु।
At the House of Representatives session today, Premier Dahal will also inform the lawmakers that investigations are ongoing for the recent gold scandal, the attack on Nepali Congress leader Mahendra Yadav and the death of a minor in Kanti Children's Hospital. He also informed that preparations are underway to form a high-level commission that will probe into the gold scandal. Meanwhile, Speaker Devraj Khemire informed of the vacant seat of lawmaker following the demise of CPNUM leader Subhash Chandra Nemwang, who was elected from Ilam constituency number 2. In a collective display of solidarity, 78 doctors have resigned in Hetauda in protest against the assault against doctors. All health services except emergency care have been suspended in Makwanpur with the demand of action against those who assaulted doctors Bikash Thapa and Prasad Bidari at Sancho Hospital yesterday. The doctors and healthcare workers have demanded actions against those who assaulted the 2 doctors and have suspended all health services except emergency care in Hetauda Hospital. The outpatient department or the OPD of the hospital has been closed as well. The protesting doctors have warned of halting the services until actions are taken against individuals responsible for the assault. The incident unfolded when a group of individuals accompanied by their relatives assaulted the 2 doctors within the hospital premises. Their motivation stemmed from allegations of negligence in the treatment of Rajesh Pradhan, a 41-year-old resident of Hetauda 12, who succumbed to a dengue infection. Following mounting pressure from the doctors, police have arrested Rama Pradhan, the spouse of the deceased, along with his son Rohit, daughter Ramita and nephew Anup Pradhan. This arrest was prompted by tracing evidence captured on CCTV footage which showed the attackers assaulting the doctors. Welcome back. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what could be the reason for increasingly more doctors leaving the country? Your options are A. Attractive income, B. Lack of opportunities back home, and C. A broad attraction. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the international update. Moroccan tourism operators are inviting and encouraging people to travel to Marrakesh after a magnitude 6.8 earthquake hit the northern African country on September 8th in order to support the tourism industry, which is vital for the national economy. Normalcy is returning to Marrakesh following the earthquake last Friday. Hotels and small businesses are reopening as tourists continue to arrive. The earthquake struck during one of the busiest months for tourism. Yet, after 3 days of national mourning, the iconic Gemma Lifna Square in Marrakesh is vibrant and full of tourists. The airports are open and flights are continuing as usual. Tens of thousands of international travelers are arriving every day to visit this beautiful city, while Moroccan authorities are urging more tourists to visit the region and prolong their stay in a bid to assist national economy. Libya is wrestling with search and rescue operations in the flood-hit Derna while facing many headwinds, including inaccessibility to the disaster-stricken region and transferring of deceased victims. On Sunday this week, Mediterranean storm Daniel made landfall in eastern Libya, triggering floods and causing extensive damage to infrastructure along its path. The situation in Derna, located along the northern coastal region of Libya, is particularly devastating, with the number of casualties expected to further rise. Roads leading to some disaster-stricken areas are still partially blocked, hindering access for medical and paramedical convoys. The death toll from the devastating floods that struck Derna has risen to 11,300, while another 11,000 remain missing, according to the Libyan Red Crescent societies. Rescue workers from Turkey search for survivors of Derna's flooding in East Libya, sometimes wading through water waist deep. The personnel are from Turkey's Interim Ministry, the Disaster and Emergency Management Presidency (AFAD), and looked for bodies under piles of collapsed buildings and floating debris. A torrent washed away whole district of Derna, a city in eastern Libya, on Sunday night after 2 dams collapsed. Thousands were killed and thousands more are missing. Various Turkish government agencies and non-governmental organizations have sent aid to the flood-hit city, including medical gear, ambulances, medicine and clothing. The World Health Organization and other aid groups called on authorities in Libya to stop burying flood victims in mass graves after a UN report showed that more than 1,000 people had so far been buried in that manner since the country was hit by floods. Thailand's Peter Limjaroenrat has resigned as leader of the Progressive Move Forward party, adding that the party needed a new figure to lead the opposition in parliament after the Constitutional Court suspended him as a lawmaker. Peter informed through his Facebook page he was tendering his resignation to pave the way for the party to choose a new leader who can perform the duty as efficiently as possible, saying that the leader of the opposition is an important position in the parliamentary system, which sets the directive in debates on check and balance. Move Forward now represents the bulk of the parliamentary opposition but will retain significant political clout, having won the majority of seats in and around the capital Bangkok and taken over key urban centres and some conservative strongholds. Peter is currently suspended from parliament due to a court case concerning his eligibility to run for office stemming from shares he held in a media company which is against election rules. Peter has denied wrongdoing. British police have charged 3 people with the murder of a 10-year-old girl, Sarah Sharif, found dead at her home last month, including the girl's father. Sharif was found with an extensive injuries at her home in Woking, a town in southwest of London, on August 10th. Her father, Urfan Sharif, who is 41 years old, His partner Beinash Batul, 29, and her uncle Faisal Malik, 28, had all travelled to Pakistan a day earlier. They returned to Britain on Wednesday when they were arrested at London's Gatwick Airport after disembarking from a flight from Dubai. Surrey police said the trio had now all been charged with murder and causing or allowing the death of a child. They are due to appear at Guildford Magistrates Court later today. Now, a robot powered by ChatGPT-style large language models has been appointed experimental CEO for a drinks company in Poland.
Hello, I'm Mika, the world's first experimental AI CEO at Dictador. It's great to connect with you.
Developed by Hong Kong-based Hanson Robotics, Mika is a female humanoid robot, though without legs, and is instead moved around on caster wheels. Rum producer Dictador initially had Mika identifying potential clients for their high-end collectible rums, but now her duties have widened to tasks including choosing artists to design custom bottles.
As a robot CEO, I don't really have weekends. I'm always on 24/7, ready to make executive decisions and stir up some AI magic.
Dozens of volunteers participated in a cleanup drive along a coastline in the outskirts of Manila to mark International Coastal Cleanup Day today. Over 50 sacks of plastic waste, mostly single-use plastic containers and sachets, were collected by volunteers during the cleanup drive. Robert Medrano from the Earth Island Institute urged Asia-Pacific Earth residents to cut the use of single-use plastics and switch to reusable containers instead. Medrano also called for corporations to choose eco-friendly alternatives instead of plastic packaging. The Philippines is the planet's worst polluter when it comes to releasing plastic waste into the ocean, accounting for 36% of the total input globally, according to an updated April 2022 report by the Our World in Data project at the University of Oxford. International Coastal Cleanup Day is a global event held annually on the third Saturday of September to raise awareness of the growing garbage problems affecting coastlines around the world. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.